please do not go to this woman's shop and buy anything, because she's a horrible, horrible woman, honest to God. And if you are going in there, please don't take your children, because she's got no customer service whatsoever. And the poor girl behind the till didn't know what to do, because she was like, oh, I think she thought, well, I wouldn't have charged them, but it's not my shop. Because she kept saying, oh, she's the owner, so she obviously had to charge us for the necklace.
So let's get into this. This story, it is not just about a kid breaking a necklace. It is about how one woman used her platform to spin a story so twisted she almost got a small business cancelled. And for what? Clothes? Attention? Or maybe just hard feelings? We're talking about a TikTok user named Beck, who made a video crying in her car, claiming that a gift shop yelled at her 4-year-old niece and threw her family out. But here's the twist. Someone else was in that store that exact moment, and they say it did not happen that way at all. Let us break it down. Beck has about 1,000 followers on TikTok. Not a big creator, but enough to get some attention. She posted a video, faced red, eyes teary, saying she had just been kicked out of a store called Lux on Lark Lane in Liverpool. She was with her sister and her niece, who's just 4 years old. She said they went there to celebrate her niece getting into a new school. Kind of like a reward. They went to buy her a jelly cat. Those cute, soft toys a lot of kids love. But inside the store, the little girl picked up a necklace and tried to wear it, and it broke. Now, accidents happen, but here's where things start feeling strange. Instead of just saying, my niece broke it, we paid for it, and that was that, Beck made it a whole moment. Say the store staff was rude, that they made her niece feel bad, that her owner shamed them, that it ruined their entire day. She even added a big message in the caption, Lux on Lark Lane, please avoid this shop. What an absolutely horrible experience we had here today. I'm still shaking, so upset. It wasn't just a compliment, it was a full-on campaign. Beck told people to boycott the store. She even added a picture of the storefront at the end of the video so people would know exactly where not to go. But here's the thing, her video wasn't just emotional, it was suspicious. In the video, Beck tries to explain that the necklace her niece broke wasn't really a big deal. She says it only broke a little, that it was just the clasp part, and she kept repeating over and over that it was repairable.
Hi everyone, I'm just coming on to do this video because, like, as you can see, I'm really upset by it. So just took me niece to Lark Lane because she got into the school that we wanted in September, so we were having like a lovely day out celebrating it, and I wanted to go and buy her a jelly cat, so took her to Lark's on Lark Lane, like the shop, it's like a vintage shop and it's got jelly cats and stuff in, to buy her one. And when she was in there, she picked a necklace up, and as she pulled the necklace to put it on her head, she snapped like the end of the necklace, which it was repairable because it was literally just the clasp bit had come off the end, so you just needed to reattach it. So when she'd broke it, I said from the word go, oh, it's fine, I'll pay for it. Like, it was only 14 man, like I wasn't bothered about paying for the necklace.
Also kept saying she wasn't bothered about paying for it, like she was trying to make a point that money wasn't an issue for her. But here's the thing, if she really wasn't bothered, then why did she make a video? Why was she crying in the car? Why involve her mom? Why post the name of the shop and tell the entire world not to go there? If it was just a small accident that she did not care about, why make it a big story on the internet? And the part that stood out even more is what she said next, that the shop owner made her niece feel bad by saying the little girl was messing around. That apparently made her niece so upset she nearly cried. So her sister took the child outside to calm her down, and Beck stayed inside to deal with the situation. Beck then claims she told the shop staff she was happy to pay for the necklace, no big deal. But then, suddenly, her sister walks back in and tells her not to pay for it, saying the niece did not mean to break it. She was just 4 years old and did not do it on purpose.
For it, like, it was only 14 man, like I wasn't bothered about paying for the necklace. But the woman who owned the shop came over and like spoke to me niece who's 4, like absolute shit, like made her feel really guilty. Like, she looked like she was going to cry because she broke this necklace, which fair enough, like she broke her necklace, that's not the point. But I'd said as soon as she'd done it, I went, oh, it's fine, I'll pay for it. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I understand, like, it's the woman's business, I get that. And then, but she like proper went, oh, she's broke, you know, she's messing around, blah blah blah, and made her feel like shit because she broke this necklace when she's 4, like she's a baby, you know what I mean? She doesn't understand. So then obviously my sister then like had to go with my niece and like took her outside and stuff because Harry like literally looked like she was gonna cry. So then I was still in the shop and the woman came over and she went, oh, well, she has thingied it, so you're going to have to pay for it. And I went, that's fine. I said from the word go, I'll pay for it. Like, I'm not bothered. And then obviously went to the till, and the woman, like she was saying, and I went, it's fine. I've said from the word go, I'll pay for it. And then my sister came back in and was like, you know, you're not paying for it. Like, she's a baby. Like, she hasn't broken it on purpose. Like, fair enough if she just pulled it and broke it for nothing, but she hasn't done it on purpose. She's done it because she's been trying to put it on her head and it's been an accident. Like, fair enough, like, it's the woman's business, but don't speak to her like that kind of thing. So then the woman came back over and started like going on about my sister's behaviour, my sister's parent, and saying, oh, you know, maybe if you could control your child and all this. Like, she's a fucking baby. Like, do you know what I mean? Making my sister feel shit because her daughter's accidentally broke her necklace in a shop. Like, do you know what I mean? And she was going, you know, maybe if you could control her, she wouldn't have done that and all that, as if she was like some feral monster. Like, honest to God, I'm so annoyed.
And here's where it gets confusing. First, Beck says she wants to pay, then her sister tells her not to, and now they're both upset that the shop owner still expects them to pay something. So, what exactly did they expect the store to do? Ignore the broken item just because a kid did it? Because Beck keeps saying she wasn't bothered, but her actions say something totally different. It is starting to look less like a calm adult paying for a small accident and more like two adults trying to shift the blame onto a small business. The story was starting to feel messy and it was just the beginning. Now here's the dramatic part of Beck's story, the moment she turns everything into an emotional roller coaster. She claims the shop owner made her feel so hurt and uncomfortable that she began crying right there and then. Not just emotional, but full-on shaking. She says her niece was also crying, overwhelmed by the whole situation, and according to Beck, it felt like everything was just too much, too intense, too stressful, and way out of hand.
I'm going to put you on Facebook and everything, like, over the child breaking a necklace. Like, honest to God, like, I'm so annoyed. So then I literally thought, do you know what, I'm going to come on here and just put a picture on at the end, and please do not go to this woman's shop and buy anything because she's a horrible, horrible woman, honest to God. And if you're all going in there, please don't take your children because she's got no customer service whatsoever. And the poor girl behind the till didn't know what to do because she was like, oh, I think she thought, well, I wouldn't have charged them, but it's not my shop. Because she kept saying, no, she's the owner, so she obviously had to charge us for the necklace. But the poor girl didn't know like what to do. And I was just like, but it just annoyed me even more because I'd said from the word go, I'll pay for it. Like, it wasn't the point of me not paying.
Then she takes it up a stepfather. She says the shop owner brought up the CCTV footage and even threatened to post it on Facebook. Beck throws in a sarcastic jab, calling it classy, like the shop owner was being unprofessional and spiteful.
Literally, whilst I was at the till paying for it, there was no need for it to carry on. And then the woman then started saying about like CCTV. She was going, oh, don't worry, I've got you all on CCTV. Very classy, like, because my sister was kicking off, which obviously she's gonna, because she spoke to her daughter like shit, who's literally 4. So I was literally paying for the thing. So she, as a business owner, she should have just left it there and being like, do you know what, she's paying for it, end of story. But then she starts going, you know, maybe if she had some manners and you learned how to control your child, then that wouldn't have happened over a £14 necklace. Like, come on. Like, fair enough if it was like a fucking £1,000 bag or something, I go, oh yeah, fair enough, but £14, like, she's a child. And then she's going, you know, I've got you on CCTV, I'm going to put you on Facebook and everything, like, over the child breaking a necklace. Like, honest to God, like, I'm so annoyed.
When you stop and think about it, what kind of store owner randomly threatens to post CCTV unless they feel provoked or unsafe? Beck made it sound dramatic, but the logic behind it did not really add up. Still, the drama did not stop there. Beck says she went home and told her mom what had happened. And her mom, she was furious. She actually called the shop herself. According to Beck, her mom was heartbroken over how her daughter and grandchild had their day ruined. It's like the family turned this small store disagreement into a full-blown a family crisis. But when you really look at what's going on, it stops feeling like it's about a little girl being upset and starts feeling like two grown women were embarrassed and looking for someone else to blame. Instead of taking responsibility for the accident and moving on, they needed a villain in the story, so they made the shop owner the bad. And in the closing part of her video, Beck doubled down. She told her viewers the shop had no customer service. She warned people not to go there, especially not with kids.
Just do not go to this woman's shop and buy anything because she's a horrible, horrible woman, honest to God. And if you're all going in there, please don't take your children because she's got no customer service whatsoever. And the poor girl behind the till didn't know what to do because she was like, oh, I think she thought, well, I wouldn't have charged them, but it's not my shop. Because she kept saying, no, she's the owner, so she obviously had to charge us for the necklace.
That was her final stamp of disapproval, like she was doing everyone a public service. Then she quietly turned off the comments. No replies, no clarifications, no chance for people to call her out. Probably because she knew backlash was coming, and it did. Here's where the story flips completely. Another TikTok user named Michelle, who has just around 600 followers, came forward with a reply video. Why? Because she was inside that same store on the exact same day at the exact same time, and what she saw, it did not match Beck's story at all. Michelle did not hesitate. She said right away that Beck had twisted the truth. In her words, Beck lied. Michelle described the shop owner as polite, calm, and professional. She said the owner never raised her voice. Not once, no shouting, no rude comments, nothing harsh or mean. Just a calm woman trying to handle a situation with care. The only people who were causing a scene, according to Michelle, it was Beck and her sister. Michelle says that even though the child broke the necklace, the shop owner did not get angry. She did not demand full payment. In fact, she only asked for half the price because she understood it was an accident. That is generosity, not aggression.
Well, she basically said that this woman who owns the shop or who works in the shop has told them that the kid was messing about. Wasn't said. She's told them that they should have this little baby under control. Wasn't said. They've said that the woman was dead rude to them, the nastiest woman they've ever met. She wasn't nasty once. Like, really, she weren't. They were upset. The girls were shouting and screaming at each other and across the shop at the woman. But the woman and the staff members, literally not once did they raise the voice. They've said, this girl said in the video, the girl who's made the video was the girl who paid for the necklace, which was offered to be put to half price. And she said, I don't want to pay half price, I'll just pay full price. And the girl's sister, I think, come in and was like, don't you pay for that, I'll never speak to you again. And then this girl was screaming at the woman, haven't you got kids? And then the girl who was like in the shop still, who was with them, was screaming from behind me, you should be ashamed of yourself, you should be ashamed of yourself, it's disgusting, she's a little girl. Nobody was saying anything about the little girl. It says in that video as well that she said to the little girl, you were messing about, and she spoke to the little girl like shit. Didn't happen. She didn't directly communicate with that little girl once. She didn't. She didn't say that she was messing around. She didn't say anything nasty to her. The shop staff were completely professional. Like I said, I work in a little small family-run business, and if they worked for me or like my family, then I would be really happy with how they dealt with the situation. It was professional, it was calm, it was cool, it was collected.
But then things got messy. Beck's sister got mad when she heard the shop owner still wanted a partial payment. She told Beck not to pay a penny. She even threatened not to speak to her again if she paid. It wasn't about the child anymore. It became a power struggle between two adults who did not want to be corrected. Michelle said the tension in the room was thick. Beck and her sister were arguing, raising their voices, making a scene. Meanwhile, the shop owner kept her composure. Even as she was being attacked verbally, she stayed professional. She did not snap. She did not insult them. She did not even speak harshly about the child who broke the item. The shop owner never said the child was messing around. She never told anyone to control their child. She did not shame or scold. None of that happened, Michelle says. So where did all this dramatic line in Beck's video come from? That is the question people started asking, because this wasn't just a difference in perspective. It was a total rewrite of what actually happened. Remember when Beck said the shop owner talked about posting the CCTV on Facebook? Michelle clears that up too. And this part is actually very important. She said the shop owner never said anything about posting the footage online for everyone to see. What actually happened was this. The shop owner told them there was CCTV footage, but she only brought it up because she felt unsafe. Imagine you're in your store and two grown adults are yelling, arguing and accusing you of being rude when all you did was ask them to pay half the price for something their child accidentally broke. You'd probably feel a little nervous too, right? Michelle explained that the shop owner only mentioned the CCTV because she wanted to protect herself in case things got worse. She never said she was going to upload it, never made a threat, and never tried to embarrass anyone. She simply reminded them there was video evidence. That is not being classy in a sarcastic way like Beck tried to frame it. That is called being prepared and cautious.
And then coming away and then saying that she'd said things that she hadn't said. Like, that's why I just think it's dead tight. They've said that she was really rude to them and said that she was going to put them on Facebook and called them like, oh, classy, I'll put you on Facebook. But she weren't saying it because of that. She was saying because they were screaming at her, and she probably felt threatened. Like, I felt a bit threatened. I'm gonna, you know, I've got the CCTV, like, basically, go away, I think. She didn't say anything about Facebook. She didn't say anything about classiness or anything like that. She didn't say anything about having the kids under control. She was dead polite, dead professional. I know I've said it. There's just so much in that video, so trying to remember it all and trying to just make sure that I get like the truth across. And yet I get these girls might not have had the greatest experience, but in all fairness, if that was me in their situation, I'd have just been like, yeah, fair, sorry.
In fact, Michelle said she respected the shop owner even more after seeing how she handled the chaos. Even while being shouted at, she stayed calm. She did not yell back. She did not get emotional. She stood her ground, yes, but she did it in a professional and graceful way. The way Michelle describes it, this whole situation wasn't about a shop being mean to a child. It was about a shop owner trying to keep her business safe while two adults tried to dodge responsibility and twist the story in their favor. This wasn't about customer service. This was about accountability, and some people clearly did not want to take any. Now here's the real question. Why would Beck go online and lie about what happened? Why cry in the car with a red face and shaky voice? Why get her mother to call the shop? Why go as far as trying to cancel a small, locally owned business? Maybe it wasn't about the child at all. Maybe her ego was bruised. Maybe her sister felt humiliated in public and needed someone to shame. And maybe they both just wanted to shift the narrative and make themselves look like the victims instead of two adults who were told no in a situation they thought they could control. What is clearer is this. Almost everything Beck said in that video was missing important context. It was emotional, exaggerated, and crafted to stir up sympathy. And some people clearly did not want to take any. Now here's a real question. Why would Beck go online and lie about what happened? Why cry in the car with a red face and shaky voice? Why get her mother to call the shop? Why go as far as trying to cancel a small, locally owned business? Maybe it wasn't about the child at all. Maybe her ego was bruised. Maybe her sister felt humiliated in public and needed someone to shame. And maybe they both just wanted to shift the narrative and make themselves look like the victims instead of two adults who were told no in a situation they thought they could control. What is clearer is this. Almost everything Beck said in that video was missing important context. It was emotional, exaggerated, and crafted to stir up sympathy. She did not mention the fact that the shop owner offered to charge only half the necklace price, and which shows understanding and fairness. She left out how she and her sister were loudly arguing inside the shop, something that made other customers uncomfortable. She twisted the CCTV mention, making it sound like a threat to humiliate when it was really just the shop owner trying to protect herself. And she made the entire video about her niece feeling hurt, when the truth is it seemed more like Beck's pride was the one that got bruised. The child might have been upset in the moment, but the tears in that video are not hers, they were Beck's. And those tears felt less like heartbreak and more like damage control. What Beck did wasn't just a little online drama, it was genuinely harmful. When you run a business, your reputation is everything. You don't have big marketing budgets or massive PR teams to clean up false claims. You rely on your customers' trust, and all it takes is one viral video with sad music, teary eyes, and an emotional voice to undo years of that trust. Beck's story is dramatic and exaggerated, and it could have caused real damage. People who don't know what really happened might have believed her. They might have stopped shopping there, left angry reviews, sent mean messages to the staff. Some may have even warned others away from the shop, all because they saw a crying woman on their For You page. And the worst part, Beck knew what she was doing. When she turned off her comments, it was clear. She did not want anyone challenging her. She did not want the truth creeping into her story. She wanted her video to be a one-sided cry for sympathy with no room for facts. But here's the truth. Sympathy that's built on lies does not last. It fades fast. And once people see through it, that sympathy turns into doubt. And that doubt, it sticks longer than any viral video ever will. Michelle ended her video by saying the shop was lovely, not just okay, not just decent. She said the word lovely, a word that carries warmth, calm, and comfort. She said the staff were kind and respectful, and that the atmosphere inside the shop felt welcoming and peaceful. Michelle also shared that she had been to the shop before with her son, not once, not by accident, but enough to feel like it was a safe space. She said she always felt respected there. That's important because it shows her opinion wasn't based on just the one visit, it was based on experience. Was this shop a toxic environment where kids get ashamed and moms cry in the car? Or was it a calm space where a simple accident turned into drama because two adults did not want to take accountability? We'll let you decide for yourself, but between the two versions, only one person gave specific facts, consistent details, and a clear timeline. And we all know which one that was. This story is a reminder that social media isn't always about truth. It is about who tells their side first and loudest. And sometimes the loudest one is the least honest. Not every tear on camera is real. Not every story told between sobs is the full truth. And just because someone paints themselves as the victim doesn't mean they are one. Sometimes the so-called villain is just someone standing up for what's fair. Beck used her platform not to share a lesson but to spin a tale. A small accident turned into a viral sob story, and a small business almost got dragged for something they did not even do. And the saddest part, she used her own niece's innocence, her cuteness, her tears, as a tool to sell the drama. She hid behind that little girl while fueling a campaign against people who did not deserve it. This wasn't just a TikTok tantrum, it was a masterclass in deflecting accountability. It was a reminder of how far people will go to be right in public, even when they were the ones in wrong while private. What can we learn from this? Always look for the full picture, ask questions, ask for the other side, ask for the people who were there. And when someone says, don't go to this place, don't just believe them. Ask why. Then, who else saw what happened? Because sometimes the truth doesn't come from the person crying into the camera. The real story sometimes is sitting quietly in the comment section. Let's talk. What do you think? Was Beck lying? Was she just emotional? Or was Michelle covering us for a store she liked? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Like if you made it this far, and don't forget to subscribe for more stories just like this one. See you in the next one.